Cindy, and today I'm doing my first YouTube makeup video ever, and I'm pretty psyched and nervous at the same time, but I'm excited. Going for today is like a soft glam look. This is a look that you could use for any small get-togethers that you're not really trying to pack on a lot of makeup, or like dinners or something like that. Just something, you know, casual. This could be an everyday today makeup look if you really want to, but I'm gonna stop talking now and let's get started. Eyebrows before starting the video, just because it is a little hard to do my eyebrows right now, just because I haven't gotten them done. But to do that, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills dip brow pomade and the shade Ebony, and then to carve around it I used the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced in the shade Born Medium. I always like to go a couple shades lighter on one of my concealers so I could really highlight the inner points of my face, and we'll get more into that later. I'm going to be using the Subculture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to be using the shade named Dawn, and I'm just going to put that shade all over my eyelid using this really flat brush. Literally me. But I'm going to use it, I'm going to put it all over my eyelid. And this is just going to give us a nice base to start off with. I like to do this before putting other eyeshadows on, just out of habit, to be honest. I feel like it just gives you a cleaner look, especially since this is like a soft glam look. Just like that, you're going to put it all over, up to your brow bone. To continue this look, we're going to use the same palette, and we're going to take the shade called Roxy, and we're going to grab just a little bit of it to get started with a crease. And I'm going to take this big fluffy brush, just going to grab a tiny bit, tap off the excess powder because there is a lot on there, and I just start from the very center and blend my way through. For this one, I typically only add a little bit to just give my eyelid a little pop of color, but the next shades we'll be using will be all neutral browns. Just gonna lightly blend that through your eye. Lightly pressing. Just like so. You see, it just gives you that tiny bit of color, nothing too crazy. I know dipping into that shade might look a little crazy because of the color of it, but once you apply it, it's totally. A little bit of the shade Fudge, and I started working it into my outer crease, and I like to do it little by little, you know, work your way there. Don't grab too much, because when you grab a lot, it'll just pack on intentionally, and it would be really difficult to blend, and it won't give you that soft glam look. So just grab little by little and work your way there. You don't want any of that. You just gotta blend to the same shade of earlier, Roxy, and I'm just gonna kind of work it more so it could look a little bit more blended there, because as you can see, it just looks darker here and then lighter there. So with the same brush I took earlier, just gonna take a little bit more and work it there, just so it could look kind of like a ombre fade type of look. And then from there, we're going to be moving on to what we're going to do to the center of our eyes, meaning the base of our eye. To move on to the base of my eye, I'm going to be using the James Charles palette that he did with Morphe, and I'm going to be using the light shades. So I'm going to be using this white shade and this yellow shade. I'm going to kind of mix them together just to give the base of my eye just a little pop. So I'm going to be using this flat top brush. It's from e.l.f. Super cheap. It was literally like $2. So I always like to tap off my excess powder that I leave on there, and literally you could either pack it on and then swipe, but just like that. Nothing too crazy, because it's supposed to be a soft glam look. So yeah, and then we're gonna go back with our other brushes, and we're gonna blend the top so it doesn't look insane. So something like that. You get what it should look like at the end. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of eyeliner just because I'm gonna add some lashes, but it's optional if you just want to pop up some mascara and leave it that way. You could do that, but I have really small lashes, so I was just gonna add some wispies to make the look pop a little bit. And then we're gonna move on to the faces I'm gonna be using today are by Ardell, and I bought this whole little like package of lashes, and I'm gonna be using the wispies 113. I've actually used a couple lashes from here. I like to clean them and like wear them one more time and then get rid of them because they're pretty pricey, but they're definitely worth it. So I'm gonna pop one on and then I'm gonna be right back. So I already applied the eyelash to my left eye, and it definitely changes the look a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And I'm gonna do the same for the other eye, but I just wanted to tell you guys what eyelash glue I use. I use the duo eyelash glue, and this one dries in clear. And I prefer it that way just because if you like mess up and like misplace it, it will dry clear either way. So after that, I use my mascara just to apply it to my eyelashes underneath so they don't, you know, it looks all stick together. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna do an eyelash tutorial in the future, but I just wanted to kind of briefly explain the products that I was using. To face makeup, I'm just gonna prime a little bit, and I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus hydrating stick, and I just like to put this in the spots where I'm like the most dry, not too crazy, you know, just pat it in with your fingers. I'm gonna grab that same concealer that I was using earlier, the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced, and I'm just gonna add it just a tiny bit there, and then the same thing for the other eye. I'm gonna add a little bit on the bridge of my nose and just a tiny bit on my forehead. And then I'm also gonna take my Milani Conceal Perfect concealer in the shade 145, and I'm just gonna use this for over here. This is slightly darker than the other one, so I could really go heavy-handed with this one if I would like to. I'm just gonna add a little bit more there, here. Sometimes I like to add some here. So now I'm gonna take a flat mini foundation brush and I'm just gonna buff it in. And then at the end, I like going in with the beauty blender. Done that, I'm gonna take my setting powder, and this is I'm gonna probably insert a picture of it because it's so faded away I can't even see it, but I'm gonna open it carefully and just grab a little bit and set the underneath of my eyes. And when I set it, I don't leave it there to bake. I press it And as soon as I press it like into my skin. Like I don't leave it there, if you know what I mean. So you see how I applied it there? I'm not gonna leave it. I'm gonna like press it into my skin so I can actually, you know, contour. And to do that, I'm gonna be using the Studio Pro Shade and Define contour highlight kind of thing. And I got this on BH Cosmetics. They were having a huge sale, so as a makeup lover, you know, you gotta take advantage of the sales. And this is also a BH Cosmetics brush, so I like to go for these two shades. Sometimes this one if I'm a little darker, like during the summer, but as you can see, these two are my go-to ones. So I just grab it, tap off the excess powder, and just start, you know, bronzing up your face, kind of. I like to do like the duck face because it makes your cheekbone pop out. And this is the perfect brush to do it, just because it's shaped in a weird way, but it gets into every like single spot that you want it to get to. And I'm just gonna do the top of my head, forehead. Can't even freaking speak. And don't forget, you gotta set the contour from under here too. I see on this side I didn't blend it too well, so it's okay. You can always go back. And then I'm gonna take some and I'm gonna squish my brush a little bit and just kind of go in my nose, just to, you know, set the contour from the nose. The rest of the face, I'm gonna be using the Fit Me powder, and this is in the shade 330. Looks like this. I have a second one. I just really want to get through this one first, and I'm just gonna go through the other spots where I didn't really put concealer, just so it doesn't look uneven. I'm gonna put a little bit on the forehead, you know, so that it can all get one tone. A little bit more to my contour, and I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer, and this is in the shade Tawny. And I'm gonna be using this makeup brush. Actually, one of my good friends gave like a set of these makeup brushes to me. I'm gonna pat on it a little bit and just add it to further warm your face. Add a tiny bit of blush. I already added it a little bit, but I wasn't recording. I'm just gonna finish adding it. And this is actually a Kat Von D blush, but it completely shattered, so I have to be extremely careful. But I just like to add a little bit on my nose. You know, blush really changes the way that a makeup look looks, in my opinion. Like, there's just something to it. But this is how it looks with blush. Move on to highlighter. I'm going to set my face, and I'm going to be using the Morphe and Jeffree Star setting spray, and I'm just gonna add it all over my face, and then I'm gonna add the highlight at the end. It smells so good. Like, I literally want to eat it sometimes. But for my highlighter, I'm gonna be using back to the James Charles and Morphe, and I'm gonna be using this shade right here with this brush. I know typically a lot of people like to use the fan brush, but personally I prefer a brush like this. And this is also from BH Cosmetics, and you just add your highlighter to the high points of your face. Since this is a soft glam look, I don't want to go too crazy with the highlighter because it's supposed to be, you know, pretty natural. But like I said, if you want to go crazy with a highlighter, you can. It's your luck. So this is just how I added highlighter. And now we're going to be moving on to ideally I would love to line them with brown lip liner, but since I don't have any lip liner because all the beauty supplies stores are closed, I can't get any. But I'm just gonna add my lip gloss. This was literally $1. I got it at the beauty supply store near me, but just gonna add a tiny bit. I literally use this lip gloss like every day. And yeah, so this is how it looks. If you don't want to use a lip gloss, you could also use like a liquid lipstick, like a nice nude color. You know, it's up to you. Like if you want to go for a red lipstick, it also works, just because the eyes are so neutral. So if you want to wear a green lipstick, it would work because the eyes are neutral, so it goes with any single color. But this is how it looks, and I think this is it. I'm just gonna give one last spritz of the setting spray, just to really, you know, get it set in there. And that's my makeup look. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope this helps some of you guys. I would appreciate it if you guys would subscribe or comment any questions that you have in my channel. This is the way I personally like to do a soft glam makeup on myself. But again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.